Short time right now is our advisor, Mr. Robert Goff.
Hi, Mitchell. How you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Coming into tonight, Omaha Central is ranked 5th as they're coming in 2-0, maybe 3-0.
Yeah, I think they won last night, coming in 3-0, Mitchell here. Yeah, Omaha Central is going to bring a whole big challenge to the Bearcats tonight. Bearcats are coming off that tough loss on that road trip to Lincoln East last night. And a tough top 5 team coming in, Omaha Central, coached by an absolute legend and Coach Barron's here. And every time he's gone, every time in Omaha Central, he had several state championship teams that went to the college level. And then he came back to Omaha Central a few years ago. They're back in the top 5. It's going to be a tough matchup tonight for the Bearcats.
And it's going to be even more tough without their starting center, Will Vanderbeek.
Absolutely.
Taking his spot tonight will be Cole Feddersen.
Right, absolutely. Bearcats were small anyway. We're not a very tall team. We know that from walking the halls, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have some good athletes, but we just don't have the size. And watching the warm-ups here, the Eagles definitely have size. So, probably going to look at the Bearcats, going to try to run, maybe try to press. And the Eagles, I'm sure the Eagles will try to run too, but they're going to be able to probably definitely pound it down low.
Yeah, we don't exactly have anybody that large on the roster either.
Not really,
Vanderbeek's tall, but he's not large.
Yeah. It's a good matchup here. The Lady Bearcats definitely undersized. They scrapped it out with the number 2 ranked Central Eagles earlier in the game that previously. Very good game until the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a good game until I think it was a 4-point game. Start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and then Central started pulling away. Their athleticism, their size started pulling away here.
Central has 2 good teams.
They do. They're
ladies ranked 2nd, and now the boys ranked 5th. So
they're Omaha Central is one of the biggest schools in the state. And their strength, their depth is showing, and they have 2 absolutely outstanding teams. And again, thanks here from Omaha Central watching tonight. Omaha Central fellow Strive School. We always want a big shout out to them. Their programs there, they're watching. We've known a couple Central alum coming in. Bearcats tonight to win it, Mitchell, and we just, we actually got to get turnovers. And frankly, we just had to have a good night shooting. Truly, I mean, we're undersized. So to do that, you got to shoot from the outside, and we got to shoot well. That's straight up how we have to do it.
It's going to be tough to get the ball inside. So if you have those offensive rebounds, you got to take what you can get.
Right.
Either go up with it, get either the free throws or the basket.
Take advantage of what we can take right there from Central is going to take us. So, it's be a good, exciting night. It's always a great electric crowd. We have time. We got about 2 minutes for tip-off here. So, if you have time, come on down here to Kearney High School. We got an electric atmosphere. The rowdies are starting to feel it. Holiday theme.
It is.
Mitch, I thought you were going to do an ugly sweater tonight. You really didn't do the ugly sweater.
I don't really have an ugly sweater. I have a sweater.
You got a sweater.
It's not exactly ugly,
yeah, that's
but
true.
It's a sweater.
It's a sweater.
We're halfway there.
But we had a good rowdy theme again tonight. Good rowdy crowd. Coach Bronski and the team ready here. And I'm gonna break out of here. I'll probably come back here later on. It's all Mitchell here tonight. We got Ryan over here as our director, and Allie and Claudette. They'll run our main camera tonight. A small crew tonight, but you know what? We're going to do fine.
It'll be. We made it through the first game.
There we go.
I shouldn't see any reason why we can't make it through the second.
There we go. Hey guys, again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Again, special thanks to Pinnacle Bank for our corporate sponsor for this year. Without the support of Pinnacle Bank, we just could not bring you the sporting events and athletic events and musical events that we have here at Kearney High School. You guys enjoy a great game, and I'll come back later on. Go Bearcats.
As we wait for the opening tip, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after a little bit, but you're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Well, my dreams are sweet.
Life is about waking up to a brand new dream. We're the local bank that's with you, wherever it leads, because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network. I did promise it was going to be a short one, and that I came through on. Both teams are heading to the huddles. We'll await the starting lineups, but as we do that, quick projections of lineups here. I'll find my right sheet. On the Omaha Central Eagles end of things, be senior number 0, Jaden Dawson. Number 5, senior PJ. Senior number 10, Quentin Butts. Junior number 11, Awip Mommer. And junior number 22, Jadine Bullion. We will await the national anthem. We will mute our mics and be back after a little bit. We are underway as they get ready for the starting lineups. I mentioned earlier, number 0, Jaden Dawson. Number 5, PJ Davis. Number 10, Quentin Butts. Number 11, Alip Mamer. And number 22, Jadon Bouillon. Video being played right now, we showed that earlier.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system.
Welcome you back in for the starting lineups for the Kearney High Bearcats. Starting it off for the Bearcats, number 0, senior Caden Miller. .6'3", junior, number 1, Jack Dahlgren. Number 3, 5'10", senior Cole Fedderson. Number 4, 5'10", senior Jack Mundorf. And finishing it off down low, number 11, 6' senior Parker Wise. The biggest guy on the team. He will have a tough, even Parker Wise will have a tough matchup against the Omaha Central Eagles. You already kind of look between some of the size difference here. Into the circle for tip-off, number 11, Parker Wise, and number 0, Jaden Dawson. The tip won by the tip. Parker won the tip, but ended up getting it to number 11, Whip Mommer. So it'll go to the Eagles. We're seeing a lot of screening early. They'll leave Bouillon open. Davis now with it. Passes out to Mommer. Mommer drives after the pump fake. They're going to call Caden Miller with a push. Didn't get him on the first one. That could have been a foul. But they'll call him on the second. That'll be his first foul, team's first foul. That's going to be not a shooting foul, they're going to say. Mommer with it up top. Guarded by Fedderson. Gets it out to Dawson. Guarded by Mundorf. Dawson. Back out to Mommer. Mommer for 3. It's good. Count it. Eagles jump out to a 3-point lead. Eagles are going to press. Caden Miller breaks through the press. Over to Parker Wise. Parker Wise pump fakes. Goes inside. He doesn't get it to fall. He falls down pretty hard. He gets up and continues again. Fedderson with the rejection on Quentin Butts. Oh, just jumped on top of it. Mommer with it from the lob pass. Dawson with it, guarded tightly by Mundorf. Mundorf, a great on-ball defender. Now Mommer, back out to John. The 3 from Davis, no good. Bronick very upset at the call. They're going to call a body on Parker Wise. I missed it. Dawson inbound the ball, gets out to Mama. Over to Davis. Davis surveying the D. It's to Jadon. Back to Dawson. Dawson drives. Pulls up for three. It's no good. Feddersen can't get it. They get the offensive rebound. Feddersen, he goes down. He limps over to the bench. Not even to the bench, but to the stands. Haas walking into the court at the right time. But in for the injured Feddersen will come in Carter Lee. Feddersen will limp off the court. Not sure what it could be. Jack Dahlgren inbound the pass. Good full court pressure. Timeout from Bronick because they were approaching a 5-second call. We're going to take a quick break, too. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
There's no place quite like our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. There's no place quite like ours.
Welcome back into the Bearcat Sports Network. Eagles have a 5-0 lead here. Bearcats lose a second player, Feddersen, during the game just about 15 seconds ago. Lead inbound the ball for the Bearcats. Miller finds Lee. Lee gets Mundorf. Bearcats have numbers for a second. Parker pump fakes the three. Tries to go up with it. No, they're going to say a travel. He did shift his feet down there. They're going to add some full court pressure, and Mundorf to press on Dawson. Davis with it now. Ben Johnson heads to the scorer's table. Down low, Quentin Butts gets the two. Caden Miller gets Jack Dahlgren. Now back to Jack Mundorf. Mundorf thought about the three. Mundorf, money from downtown in past games. The finish by Jadon Boulon gets him two, a 9-0 lead. They're going to call a foul on Davis. Arm extended into him. He's upset about it. He can't believe it. Neither can the Omaha Central coach. Ben Johnson will come in for Parker Wise. Lead inbound the ball. He gets Caden Miller in the backcourt. Caden Miller with it. Over to Mundorf. Lee with it. Back to Mundorf. Mundorf. Over to Dahlgren in the corner. Ben Johnson for three from deep. It's good. Count it. That puts the Bearcats on the board. The freshman, Ben Johnson, Rowdy's hailing him with the "he's a freshman" chant. Mommer with the travel. That'll be a turnover. Quick shift of events for the Bearcats. Parker Wise will check back in. He's going to take out Carter Lee. Jack Dahlgren inbound the ball, gets Parker Wise. Parker double teamed. Parker kicked ball. Kicked ball by Davis on the pass, hoping to go to Caden Miller. They'll reset the 10 seconds, and Parker Wise will inbound the ball. Parker finds Caden Miller. Caden Miller rushes, finds Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson for a second three. Not good off the iron, off both of them. Mommer falling. That pass intercepted by Mundorf. Mundorf thought about the three, pump fake. Decides anyway to not do it. Passes. Mundorf gets the and one. Count it. Mundorf will head to the line and add one more. That foul comes to the hands of Jaden Dawson. His first, team second. Score 5-9 in favor of the Eagles. Make that 6-9. 4:35 left to go. Mundorf playing tight D on Dawson. Rowdy's getting loud. Mommer with it now. Guarded by Ben. Now back to Davis. Davis guarded by Caden Miller. Davis trying to get in there. Screen for Davis. Guarded by Ben Johnson. They're going to call a foul. That's going to be an and one. Foul on Ben Johnson. Actually, I take that back. Caden Miller. His second foul. Carter Lee will head into the game. They're going to take out Caden Miller. Caden Miller's got two. Davis to shoot one more at the line. Davis no good. Dahlgren with the rebound. Lee with it. Lee pushes the pace over to Parker. Parker thinks about the three. Parker drives. Parker Euro steps in there. He gets it to go. Through the arms. 8-11. Mommer with it. Count the charge. Parker Wise picks it up. That'll be on 10. That'll be Quentin Butts, his first foul. And for him will be Keith Parlar. To mention this earlier, Raheem Biggs came in on the last possession. Dahlgren finds Parker. Mundorf with it, guarded closely by Mommer. Ben Johnson with it, guarded by Dawson. Now Lee over to Ben. Ben finds Dahlgren. Dahlgren surveys the D. Over to Ben. Ben thinks about the three. Parker Wise pump fakes. He tries to go up. He gets nothing. Be a travel. He hopped on his 1 foot. Turnover. Number 11-8. 11-8 in favor of the Eagles. 3:07 left to go in the first quarter. Ben Johnson and Jack Mundorf each share the leading score with 3 points. Dahlgren with it. Central going with more of a zone-type press. Bearcats have to get it across the line here. They do. It'll be trapped Ben Johnson on the far sideline. He gets to lead. Parker pump fakes, gets the man flying. He gets the two to fall. 11-10. Dawson with it. Over Davis. A dive by Mundorf. Keeps it in bounds. Mundorf could join the swimming team after a dive like that. Parker with it. Parker gets the two to count. 12-13 makes a man fall. Rowdies are going to let him hear it. Checking in for the Bearcats, Tristan Milan. He gets some more time. Parker Wise congratulated on the bench. Dawson with it. McCants, who I told would not be suiting up today, is in. That ball is kept in. Carter on the dive. Doesn't quite get his arm enough to throw it. Be a Omaha Central ball. Ball gets into Dawson. Guarded by Mundorf. Paula now to Mommer. Mommer drives. That ball is tipped out. That'll be an Omaha Central ball. Bearcats a man-to-man. Mommer with it, guarded by Dahlgren. Tristan guards Pilar. Mundorf guards Dawson tightly. Dawson with the ball. That ball will be tipped off. Tristan Milan's hand is out of bounds. Pass intended towards Pilar. Be 12-13 in favor of the Eagles. There's a 5-0 run at the beginning of the game for the Eagles. Now brought in with one. Ball gets into Mommer, guarded by Dahlgren. McCants with it. Guarded by Lee. McCants. Dawson with it. Dawson drives. Pulls up from the free throw line. It's no good. Dahlgren dives for it, doesn't get it. Mommer passes to Dawson. Dawson drives on the inside. Tristan challenges. Tristan gets the foul. Dawson went for the dunk. Dawson almost made the highlight play. Would have been a heck of a game. Dawson shooting two, the first one. It's good. Checking out. McCants in. DeAndre Brody. Dawson to shoot his second. Good. The offensive rebound. It was no good. Dawson with it. Mommen with it down low. He gets that one to fall on the fadeaway. Dahlgren with it. Kicks ball. Into the game, number 5, P.J. Davis. Taking out Jaden Dawson. Cole Feddersen back in, so his injury, nothing too bad. Caden Miller and who else came in? And Parker Wise came in as well. Caden Miller over to Feddersen. Feddersen to Mundorf. Mundorf, deep three. No good. Caden Miller, the rebound. It'll be off of Caden. And coming in for the Bearcats, number 15, Carter Lee. He'll give Jack Dahlgren a break. Ben Johnson comes in. He'll give Feddersen a break. 45, just nearly 46 seconds left. Birdie with the shot. It's good. Fadeaway jumper. Carter with it. Up to Ben Johnson. 18-12. Ben Johnson makes a move. Parker Wise spinning. Ben Johnson pump fakes. Out to Mundorf. Mundorf pump fakes. Body. 16.9 seconds left. Be number 1 foul on DeAndre Brody. His first foul. Team's 4th foul. Both teams have 4 fouls. Mundorf inbounds it to Lee. Lee to Johnson. Johnson over to Dahlgren. Dahlgren drives. That'll be no shot, but they're going to call, they're going to call Pilar. They do. Pulsar. Ben Johnson, Carter Lee come out. Feddersen and Miller come in. 12.9 seconds left. Parker Wise in the corner, passes to Mundorf. Bearcats playing for last shot. Dahlgren with it. Dahlgren drives. He gets the foul. Pilar's second foul in the last 15 seconds, not even, the last 10 seconds. Team's 6th foul. Next foul, they will be shooting 1-1 for the half. Dahlgren to shoot 2. First one. Finds the bottom of the well and in. Makes it 13-18. In for the Bearcats, Carter Lee. Kata Miller comes out. Some quick substitutions for the Bearcats. Bearcats kept the ball down here for 31 seconds in that last bit. Bearcats are going to full court press. Less than a second left. They didn't know about the clock. At the end of the first quarter, Eagles 18, Bearcats 14. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. We'll be back in a bit.
Everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Time to mention this at the beginning of the game, but leading scorer for the Bearcats is Jack Mundorf with 12. Ben Johnson has 6 rebounds per game and leads the team. Dahlgren with 4 assists leads the team. Parker Wise with 3 steals leads the team. And Will Vanderbeek with 2 blocks leads the team. So they will certainly miss the defensive post presence from Vanderbeek today. Certainly been all right tonight. Feddersen with it. Gets the ball to Mundorf. Mundorf, bit of a mismatch there. Now Feddersen. Back to Mundorf. Dahlgren with it. Dahlgren back to Parker Wise. Parker drives. That ball is stripped from him. He gets the ball back. That ball will be stolen away. Maumon lays it off the glass for 2. Feddersen with it now. 20-14 in favor of the Eagles. Miller drives in. Miller lays it off the glass for 2. Dawson gets past Mundorf. Maimon, he gets it to roll in. 22-16. Feddersen passes to Miller, back to Feddersen. Feddersen drives, Miller back door. Miller, the layup, it's good. 22-18. Coach Roddick has said how he loves the 3 ball, but not all points have to come from the 3 ball. The 2 works just as well. Dawson gets it into P.J. Davis in the corner. Now to Maumon. Maumon for 3. It's no good. Parker Wise with the rebound. Parker staying pretty clean on fouls so far. Normally he's had a couple, seeing he's been their tough guy to go in and get the rebound. Feddersen stripped by number 22. Jadon Bullion. Dawson lays it in for 2. Feddersen back to Dahlgren. Dahlgren passes the timeline. Dahlgren drives, passes back out to Parker Wise. Wise with it. Over to Miller. Miller back to Mundorf. Mundorf, deep 3. No good off the front iron. Rebound by Davis. Davis with it. Draws back, waits for the screen to come from Butts. Davis for 3. He's good. 27-18. Broddick's going to call a timeout. He didn't see something he liked. We're going to take a quick break, too. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Well, all my dreams are sweet.
Life is about waking up to a brand new dream. We're the local bank that's with you, wherever it leads. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. My name's Mitchell. It is 18-27 here in the second quarter. Eagles with the lead. If you're just joining us, it's been a pretty busy game so far. Lots of touches up until recently. It's pretty back and forth coming out of this first quarter. Now, it's been pretty one-sided as the Eagles have come on a run of their own. Eagles going into his zone. Bearcats reversing the ball 2 times. Eagles in a 2-3 zone. Carter Lee now with it. Back to Parker Wise in the middle. No charge called. Caden Miller for 3. It's no good. That tip stolen away by Caden Miller. Caden finds Dahlgren. Dahlgren on the inside. Count it! Dahlgren gets the and 1. Put the 2 on the board. A foul coming from Quentin Butts. Ben Johnson heads to the scorer's table. Ben will come in for Caden Miller. Dahlgren to shoot 1 at the line. His free throw is good, brings the lead down to 6. Bearcats are in bonus. They'll shoot 1 and 1 at the next foul. Dawson passes to Butts. Butts over to Ballon. Butts over to Davis. Davis dribbles out. Now to Maumon. Back to Davis. Davis pump fakes the 3. Thought about it. Guarded by Lee. Davis over to Jadon. Back to Davis. Dahlgren goes to the steal. Doesn't get it. Davis with the floater gets the 2. 21-29. Dahlgren with it now. Pushing the pace. Tipped out of bounds. That'll slow the ball down a little bit. Pass intended for number 44, Ben Johnson. Dahlgren with it. Drives. Dumps it underneath the Parker Wise. Parker Wise back to the glass. Gets 2. 23-29. Bad pass off the inbounds. Never touched anybody inbounds. It'll be a Bearcat basketball underneath. 23-29. Lee will come underneath the basket to inbounds it. Parker Wise gets it. Parker off to Mundorf. Deep 3 from Mundorf. No good. Just left. Hit the dead spot on the rim. Davis with it from the 3. Guarded by Parker Wise. Offensive rebound by Butts. Gets to Davis. No good by Davis. To Davon. Gets the 2. Count the and 1. We'll wait and see who the foul is on. Be 44. Oh, never mind. Just 4. Jack Mundorf. Be his first foul. 31-23. Into the contest for the Eagles. Number 4, Raheem Briggs. He will come in for the shooters. For the shooter. Also to come in, DeAndre Brody. Caden Miller comes in for Jack Mundorf. The 5 on the floor for the Bearcats. Carter Lee, Parker Wise, Ben Johnson, Jack Dahlgren, and Caden Miller. That free throw no good. Parker gets the rebound. Ben gets the rebound. Pass Parker. Parker out to Lee. Lee with it now. Lee gets it to Dahlgren. Dahlgren over to Parker. Parker pump fakes, gets it to Caden. Caden fakes the drive. Caden gets it to Lee. Lee drives. He gets it in. Count it! That's another and one. Lee snakes his way in there, gets the 2. He'll head to the line for one more. Foul, I believe, on number 1. Yep, that'll be on number 1, DeAndre Brody. 2 will check in for the Eagles. Number 4, Raheem Briggs. And number 23, Kahib Haller. Eagles now have 8 fouls. Free throw no good. 3:35 left to go. Brody with it. Guarded by Miller. Over to Davis. Now to Briggs. Briggs, pass, stolen by Caden Miller. Miller, he goes with a nice easy layup. Counts the 2, 27-31. That's a timeout by Omaha Central. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. We'll be right back.
No place quite like our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. There's
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Bearcats came roaring back. Brody with the ball now. Davis with it. Ben Johnson plays tight. The 3 for the Eagles, no good. Rebound by Dahlgren. Dahlgren, they're going to call a foul. It'll be on the arm. I'm a guess on number 23, Khalid Pilar. Oh, they'll say number 4, Briggs. Dahlgren will shoot 1 and 1. Dahlgren, a very good free throw shooter. 3 players in for the Eagles. Number 22, Jadon Bullion. Number 11, a Whip Mommer. And number 10, Quentin Butts. Jack Dahlgren, shoot 1 and 1. The first one, it's good. 28-31, 3-point game, 2:55 left to go. Next foul by the Eagles. The Bearcats will be shooting 2. Dahlgren to shoot a second one. That one's good. Dahlgren, a very good night from the free throw line. Lead brought down to 2. Davis with it. Davis gets the screen, goes off of it. Passes to Mammon. Mammon back to Davis. Davis guarded by Johnson. Davis gets into Mammon. Mammon gets it back underneath. Mammon does not shoot it. That'll be a charge. Count it. Jadavin's like second charge. Parker Wise picks up the 3rd drawn charge. Offensive foul. Parker Wise says, fine, you can body into me, but I'll take as much as I can out of that. 29-31. You can feel the momentum on the Bearcats' favor. Quick wipe up of the ball. Must have gotten a little wet. Bearcats in double bonus. The offensive foul does not send them to the free throw line, though. Lee with it. Parker Wise with it. Parker with it. He can dribble forward. Gets it to Dahlgren. Dahlgren for 3. Count it! Bearcats take the lead, 32-31. Ball's into Mammon. Excuse me. Davis with it. Davis guarded by Dahlgren. Screen from Jadavian. 3 for Davis. It's no good. Offensive rebound, Jadavian. Free throw jumper. It's no good. 2 of them. That'll be a foul. Davis upset. Can't believe it. They're going to head to the line to shoot 2. See who the foul is on. Be Davis' second foul. Ben Johnson will head to the line to shoot 2. He can't believe it. I fully agree with the call. He came from behind and tried to get that ball. Ben Johnson to shoot 2. 1:50 left to go. Bearcats with the first lead of the night. It's good, 33-31. Mundorf comes in for Caden Miller. The momentum fully swayed in for the Bearcats. Mundorf to shoot a second one. It's good. 34-31. Bearcats take their largest lead of the night. Mammon with it. Double teamed. Back over to Jadavion. Parker Wise takes Jadavion. Carter goes on Mammon. Now over to Dawson. Guarded by Mundorf. Dawson drives. Dawson, baseline fadeaway. It's good. 34-33. Bearcats with the lead. 1:30. Dahlgren goes by Dawson. Dahlgren drives. Dahlgren goes up with it. It's good. Count it. 36-33. 1:23 left to go. Jadavion with it. He picks up his dribbles and passes to Davis. Davis, he gets the and one. He gets the fadeaway. Fouled by Johnson on the arm. Tough to guard the fadeaway. He heads to the line to hopefully tie it up. Number 1, DeAndre Brody heads in to bring out. That'll be Quentin Butts. Also in. They'll say he's in for the shooter. Briggs in for the shooter. Davis to shoot 1 at the line. His free throw's no good. I think he's 0 for 2 on the night. Lee brings it up. Johnson with it. Now to Dahlgren, over to Mundorf. Mundorf gets to Dahlgren. Dahlgren drives. Back out to Mundorf. Mundorf gets to Dahlgren. Dahlgren guarded by Mammon. Dahlgren. He tries to go up. They're going to say jump ball. Good call by the refs. He got his hands clean on the ball, and that just happened to take Dahlgren to the ground. That'll be a Eagles ball. 50.7 seconds left to go. Bearcats with a 36-35 lead. Jack Dahlgren, the leading scorer for the Bearcats. Mammon over to Brody. Dahlgren is 12th, by the way. Dawson with it, guarded by Mundorf. Dawson finds Jadavion. Pass intended for Mammon. Mammon tipped out of bounds by Parker Wise. 30 seconds left in the second quarter. 36-35. Bearcats holding on to their first lead. Their first lead coming in this quarter. Their largest lead was a 4-point lead, I believe. Mammon. Pass stolen by Carter Lee. Carter Lee pushing the pace. His pass gets tipped off. Carter Lee dives on it, doesn't get it. Stolen by Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson finds Carter. Jack Mundorf drives in. He will get swatted. Tough plays, heavy defense. He couldn't go up with it the first time. He had to go up and under. Made the easy block for the Eagles. 11.9 seconds left. In for the Eagles, number 23. Okay, Pilar, he will take out Brody. Lead inbounds the ball. 11.9 seconds left to go. Parker Wise cuts. Mundorf with it, excuse me. His foot goes over. They're not going to count it on the landing, so it'll be an over and back. Tristan Milan comes in for Parker Wise. 10.4 seconds left. Bearcats wanted to play probably for last shot. Instead, the Eagles will likely play for last shot. Brody cuts in. He misses. Jadavion gets it. That clock just rolls out. Bronick heads into halftime, down 1. The Eagles up 37-36. We'll be right back with the Dance Cats. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Well, oh, my dreams are sweet.
Life is about waking up to a brand new dream. We're the local bank that's with you, wherever it leads, because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the floor your Kearney High School Dance Cats. Members of this year's team include freshman Ansley Hoff, Kaya Hazard, April Van Horn, Brooke Van Horn, sophomore Grace Dagan, Billy Lewis, Lauren Semlicek, Harrington Taylor, and Morgan Wickham. Juniors Ava Florell and AC Miller. And this year's seniors, Ashley Bespalette and the captain, Katie Campbell. The team is coached by Becky Rusher. And now, your Kearney High School Dance Cats.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
All right, basketball. That's it. That's our winner. All right, fans, make some noise. show your love. He's gonna have 3 chances to win $1,000. Just a bit shy. Trying to corner, miss. Number 2, come out. He's got the target. He just needs a little more out. Come on, fans. Cheer him on. He's got one more shot. $2,000. Pretty good chances. Congratulations on the winner. That means you go home with an EPA style basketball. Courtesy of Buffalo Roofing.
It's your Kearney High dance captain, Katie Gomez, and I'm here with the best of the best, Cindy Peterson. We just want to give a big shout out tonight to Mitchell and what's your name?
Ryan.
Mitchell and Ryan are running the show tonight. We're very proud of them for holding up the ship. Sydney is being best rowdy right now, and
number one rowdy all the time. We're
number one rowdy.
We're just really glad we can get out here, and get yelling, and we're
can.
just glad
Love
we
to
can
get
just
rowdy.
have such a good game. It's
Love
the
to
greatest
support
game
the
ever.
team. Everybody's looking really good tonight. Hey, hey, oh my God! This is Sydney's jammies and my little dance costume.
It's like a YouTube vlog right now.
I'd love to give a shout out to Alexis Mahalik, Riva Naveen.
Okay, we're gonna give you back to Mitchell because the game's gonna start.
Enjoy the rest of the game. See you later.
I think I can do that all day long.
Welcome back, guys. No idea what they were talking about, but I'm sure it was great no matter what it was. Dahlgren inside, goes up with it. He too short on that shot. Shot rebounded by Jadavion. Maumon. Pass to Davis. Davis wasn't paying attention to it. Davis falling out of bounds. Gets it off. Jadavion passes to Maumon. Maumon too low. Parker loses the ball. Keeps the foot set. Gets it to Carter. Jack Dahlgren for three. Jaden Dawson. It was pointed out to me during halftime, Jaden Dawson is a three-star commit to Loyola Chicago. Davis for three. It's no good. Lee. Pass from Dahlgren, tipped off. Maumon tripped up. Davis gets the ball stolen. Mundorf hustling. Maumon lays it off the glass. It's no good. His layup unchallenged, no good. Bearcats have numbers for a little bit. Mundorf deep from downtown. It's good! Money Mundorf from way downtown. Oh my goodness. It's never been tracked what the deepest three was, but that's challenging it here at Kearney High. Parker Wise, feet set, doesn't like it. He'll get picked up for the foul, though, as Davis charged into the lane. That three from Mundorf makes it 39-37. They're going to say underneath. We'll wait here. It'll be underneath, yep. Brody gets it to Davion. That'll be a charge, count it! Parker Wise picks up his third or fourth charge. My goodness. His feet are set at all times. I think all three of Jadavion's fouls, or two or three, all two of his fouls have come from charges on Parker Wise. Parker trapped. Parker gets it out to Carter. Carter passed up to Parker. Parker gets to Caden. Bearcats 3-on-3. Now to Parker. Parker drives in. His turn for a charge. Feet were set. He didn't see it. Parker knew his time was coming. You can only go so long before you give the other team ideas. That'll be his second foul, I believe. Coming out of the game, Jadavion. And for him, Christian McCants. A little bit confusion at the scorers table. They got all that figured out. Davis with it. Dawson gets the offensive rebound and the and one. Very light foul. Ties up the game. Jaden Dawson will head to the line to shoot one more. Ben Johnson comes to the scores table to check in. He will come in. He'll come take out Mundorf. If you pay attention on the next possession here, if you take a look at Jaden Dawson, you'll kind of see him being face guarded the entire time. They're going to stay on him because they know They let him get too hot. It's going to be a rough day for them. Caden Miller inbounds the ball to Lee. That third and one free throw good. Carter with it. Guarded by Brody. Carter trying to get past Brody. Carter drives in. Does not. He picks up the foul. Does not get the shot to fall. He'll head to the line to shoot two. 39-45. 37 left to go in the third quarter. DeAndre Brody, his second foul, team's second foul. Carter's first shot. Rolls in off the front iron. Ties it up to 40 apiece. Carter, he now has 3 on the night. No fouls for him. Jack Dahlgren leads the team with 12 and only 1 foul. Carter, second one is good. Moves him up to 4. Coming back behind him, Parker Wise has 8. Parker Wise has 2 fouls. Caden Miller is 6, and he has 2 fouls. Davis with it. Davis loses track of the ball. Free throw line fader. That one will be airballed. Quentin Butts not able to track it down in time. Roddy's letting him know that he just airballed that one. Carter. Parker with it. Gets it to Caden. Caden over to Ben. Ben with it, back to Carter. Carter guarded. Carter was now Caden guarded by McKendon. Parker with it. Gets to Dahlgren. 5 minutes left to go. 41-40 in favor of the Bearcats. Parker loses the ball. Parker's going to get the foul as he dove down and ended up getting a bit of number 10, Quentin Butts. That was his 3rd foul, team's 4th foul. In for the Eagles, number 22, Jade Bullion. He'll take out Bang Hendon. Actually, excuse me, McCants. I'm reading the wrong line there. Pair of young talent forces it out of bounds. That's a Bearcat ball. Another turnover for the Eagles. Ben Johnson, Carter Lee. Carter Lee appears, yep, he's got to go out and check out for a bit. He's got a bloody nose. He'll be back after a bit. Parker Wise checks back in. Appears Carter would have taken a nice slap in the face off that one. Parker with it. Drives Dahlgren back door. Can't keep it in, but he does. Mundorf, 3, it's too long. Johnson grabbing onto him. Dawson gets the 2. 42-41 in favor of the Eagles. 4:17 left to go. Parker guarded by Dawson. Gets the ball to Ben. Dawson stayed. Now Caden Miller guarded by Jadon. Jack Dahlgren guarded by Jadon. Back door. Jack Mundorf now. Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, deep 3. It's good! Count it! 44-42. Dawson, his own. That's another deep 3. We're exchanging threes here. Parker for 3. It's no good, too short. Rebound by Dawson. Mundorf. Dahlgren fouls him. Refs are going to meet for something. I thought it was a pretty clear-cut foul. Maybe he stepped out of bounds? Yup. Not sure what the conversation was about. I don't think you can have that flagrant one where you get like the head at all. I don't think that's in the high school. Brody with it, guarded by Johnson. Maybe you can't give him a hug is what I'm thinking I'm seeing from the opposing sideline. Brody with it. Passes to Davis. Davis for three. It's no good. Mundorf with it. Slows it up. Mundorf, Caden Miller, over to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson thought about the three, went up for it, but came back down. Caden Miller, over to Wise. The ball will be out of bounds. And back to Jaden Dawson's commitment that I mentioned at the beginning of the first half. He committed all the way back in July 26th this year. So he's been pretty committed this summer, and they knew he was going to be good. Dahlgren in there, bullies his way in, does not get the shot to fall. Parker Wise over the back. He knew it. Bronick knew it. That'll be his fourth. We probably won't see him again until like the fourth quarter. That's a timeout. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
In the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase, January 8th at Kearney High School. Check out the great lineup of games for the day. We'd love for you to be there, but if you can't make it, you can watch online at strive.tv/GBB Showcase. Tickets are $10 for in-person or online. Come and enjoy some elite girls basketball.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Eagles have a 45-44 lead here in the third quarter. 2:48 left to go. Brody with it, guarded by Mundorf. I mentioned earlier, if you watch, shot by Jadavion is good for two. I mentioned earlier, if you watch Dawson, he was being face guarded that entire time. It means he's always going to have someone on him. That ball's going to be stripped, but they're going to say that's a foul. They're going to say Dawson got him on the arm. We went to see, I believe, his second foul. Yep, his second foul. Jaden Dawson with his second foul. Wendorf will inbound the ball for the Bearcats. Bearcats have 6 fouls. Next foul by them will send the Eagles to 1-1. Eagles have 3 fouls. Caden Miller. They're going to say travel. Bit of pressure coming from him from both sides. Hard to stay upright there. Couldn't get the ball off in time. Jadavion to inbound the ball. Gets to Brody. Guarded by Mundorf. Brody passes to Davis. Now to Brody. Brody. That one will rattle in after a little bit of waiting. 49-44. 2 minutes now left to go. Dahlgren now to Mundorf. Mundorf over to Johnson. Johnson over to Caden. Caden for 3. It's no good, off the front iron. Carter squares off with Jaden Dawson in the far corner. Caden Miller overcommits on the steal. Davis able to get it in there. Bearcats coming out a little bit cold coming out of that timeout. Bronick's going to call timeout, try and fix what he's seeing, but we're going to take that one with him. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Well, my dreams are sweet.
Life is about waking up to a brand new dream. We're the local bank that's with you, wherever it leads, because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Bearcats are down 44-51. The Eagles have gone on a, I believe, 7 or 8-0 run here in the past 2 minutes. After that last timeout, so Bronick took one, try and fix what he was seeing. Carter now with it. Carter loses the ball a little bit. Gets to Ben. Ben brings it back up top. Gets to Mundorf. Mundorf cuts inside. He's not going to get the 2 to fall. In my opinion, there should have been a foul called either a charge or a body. Lee pokes that one out of bounds. Not letting an easy shot come up. Dawson will inbounds the ball. Davis, the alley-oop type shot. Doesn't get the dunk, but still gets the oop. Dahlgren with it. Guarded by Dawson. Now Caden. Back to Ben. Ben, deep 3. No good. Just off the iron. That's a bad pass. That'll be a turnover. Brody telling his teammate, calm down, we got time. No need to rush. Lee with it, guarded by Davis. Lee over to Dahlgren, excuse me. Now to Johnson. Johnson gets to Miller. Now to Dahlgren. Dahlgren with it. Back over to Miller. Back to Mundorf. Mundorf over to Dahlgren. Dahlgren for 3. Count it! 47-53. Bearcats respond. Brody with it. Appearing to play for last shot. We'll see what he takes. He's going to take this one in. That could be a turnover. Hits the trash can with it. 2 turnovers on the last 2 possessions. Mammon coming in for Brody. Brody's going to head to the bench. Miller gets it into Dahlgren. 20 seconds left to go. Dahlgren. Back to Miller. Guarded by Davis. Dahlgren now. Guarded by Dawson. Dahlgren drives. Gets it out. Miller. Gets it out to Mundorf. Mundorf pump fakes. Gets out to Cade Miller for 3. Deep 3. It's no good. Ben Johnson with the rebound. Goes up with it. Count it. Let's wait. They're going to say it's on the floor. Count it. 49-53. We're heading into the break. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
It's quite like our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Last minute shot. There is no instant replay review in college, but we do happen. There is a 10-15 second delay between what we're streaming. We're seeing it live. You guys have a 10-15 second delay. So we went over to our computer. It was a no-go. We'll take it because they can't take it back, but we'll take it. Johnson gets credited with the extra 2 points at the end of time there. Brody gets it back. Brody comes back to start each quarter now in the second half. He didn't start in the first half. Jadavion with it. Gets it over to Brody. On the arm. Johnson can't believe it that they're going to call that there. I don't believe it. If you're going to call it, I figured they would have gone with the shot, but that's only his second foul. 15 seconds in. At the line, number 22, Jadime Boyan. They're in the bonus now. Eagles only have 3 team fouls. That one is no good. He gets the offensive rebound. He gets the 2. 55-49, 7:37 left to go. Dahlgren with it. Johnson. Dahlgren inside, driving. Miller, Mundorf. Lee. Lee drives. Gets blocked. Cade Miller tries to keep it in. Rebound by Dawson. They're good. That's a charge. Count it. That's going the other way. Mundorf had his feet set. Central players don't like it. Wonder how many charges they've had. Keegan's saying 4. Can't hear him because he doesn't want to be on air, but he's listening. I don't blame him. First time I was on air, I didn't talk. Miller, guarded closely by Davis. Bearcats clumped up in that wing. Johnson. Dahlgren. Dahlgren juggles the pass. Ends up getting stolen. Brody, no good on the Euro. Dahlgren drives. No foul. Dawson. Caden Mill with the good foul. Force him to the line. See a Santa come out of the rowdy section. That's Schaefer? I think it's Schaefer. Oh. I know what's going on here. You guys probably can't see it on your screen. Rowdy's going with their good old distraction. Here's Corbin Rich. Piers is pregnant now. Dr. Schaefer coming to deliver the baby. The first free throw is good. I'll describe to you what I'm saying because I don't think you guys can see it that well. It's a baby boy. Can't tell who it is. Second one is good. Distraction is now 0 for 2. Has not worked once. I feel like I need to go back to the screams because there are some good ones. Miller with it. Over to Mundorf. Mundorf drives. Knows he's got a mismatch. He's blocked. Okay. Didn't think that was going to be a foul, but that is his 4th. It'll be Jaden Dawson. I was pretty sure he got all ball. Apparently not. He's going to take a seat. Mundorf to go shoot 2. Probably get it for swatting all the way through. Usually when you swat all the way through, it's a pretty easy foul to call. Mommen coming in for Dawson. Dawson heads to the bench with 4 fouls. Parker Wise take a seat. I believe, did Parker have 4? Yeah, he's had 4. He's been playing pretty clean now. Lee is back in. Mundorf to shoot a second one. 57-50, 6:25 left to go. Very competitive game. Second one is good, 57-51, 6-point game. Bearcats very much in this one. Just need a little bit of momentum to head their way like we saw in the third quarter. Davis. He gets, Ben Johnson. Can't believe it. He'll accept it, I guess. Be his 3rd foul. Davis heads to the line. I believe Davis has had a little bit of trouble with the line. I don't keep any stats during this one. Just going off the scoreboard for their stats. His first one's good, 58-51. 6:13 left to go in the 4th quarter. 5 team fouls for the Eagles, 9 for the Bearcats. The next foul on the Bearcats will send the Eagles to the line for 2. He makes his second one. Lee with it. Guarded by Brody. Gets to Johnson. Johnson gets Brody now. Parker Wise heads to the scorer's table to check in. Dahlgren gets it in the corner. Dahlgren approaching the 5-second mark there. He gets it off. They're going to say jump ball. They'll stay with the Bearcats. Parker Wise will come on in. 5:51 left to go. 51-59 in favor of the Eagles. Miscommunication on the sub. Carter wasn't sure that he was out yet. Parker Wise with it. Guarded by Jadavion. Mundorf. Guarded by Maumon. Dahlgren gets it to Johnson. Johnson, crossover. Doesn't get him jump. Caden Miller. Now to Dahlgren. Dahlgren. Parker down low. Count it! That's 2. 53-59. Back within 6. His 10th point of the night. He's got 4 fouls. He's got to play clean the rest of the night. When he fouls out, he will be missed. He's been a bright spot for the Bearcats today. Brody's got it on the far wing. The roll. The layup, no good. Parker goes straight up knowing he can't get another foul. That is two straight missed layups. Layups crucial, especially this late in the game. Johnson with it now. Now it's Dahlgren. Dahlgren over to Miller. Miller, Johnson, pump fakes. Gets to Miller. Miller now to Wise. Wise for 3. No good. Ben Johnson gets the rebound after the tip from Dahlgren. He's gonna draw a foul. I believe that goes to Jadavion. It does. That's his 3rd foul.
His 3rd personal foul, team 6.
We'll be shooting free throws the rest of the night. Eagles now at 6 fouls. The next one will put them at 7. Put them in the bonus for the Bearcats. Out on Jadavion. Jadavion doesn't like it. They're going to meet. They're going to change their call, and they're going to go in the favor of the Eagles. Bronick doesn't like it. He thinks that it should have been a foul then if it's going to be off. If it's off us, then it should have been a foul, he's saying. Because he was draped all over him. Don't disagree with the foul part, but Brody guarded by Mundorf. No foul there. Could have seen a charge possibly. He went in and lowered the shoulder. The way he did it, you definitely can't do that. Parker Wise steals the ball. Johnson ends up with the possession. Dahlgren drives in. They're into the body. Mundorf heads to the line for an one. I agree with it. He was already falling backwards by the time Dahlgren got there. You can't say he pushed you over when you're already falling over. There'll be a timeout on the floor. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
No place quite like our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. There's no...
Watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. I believe I misspoke and said Mundorf. Dahlgren had the and one. He's at the line to add one more, hopefully to bring it within 3. Back in for the Eagles, number 0, Jaden Dawson. He has 4 fouls. I think he's the only one in foul trouble. Parker Wise, he's back on the bench. He's also in foul trouble for the Bearcats. Dahlgren does not get us to fall. It'll be a 4-point game. You saw there, they wanted to go Dawson's route, but Lee playing tight D, knowing they really don't want him to have the ball. Brody now with it, guarded by Mundorf. Brody for 3, it's good. Almost thought his foot was on the line, but Lee gets to Dahlgren. Screen from Caden Miller. Doesn't take it. Now back to Miller, back to Dahlgren. Over to Caden, over to Johnson. Johnson pump fakes, drives. He gets it to fall. Clean D. Bronick's calling for full court pressure. Johnson has 12. I believe that's his high. Johnson overcommit. Dawson out to Birdie. Birdie passes up the three. The three by Davis, no good. Davis for the two. He gets that one off the offensive rebound. Lead up to 7 now for the Eagles. Bearcats trying to get it back, trying to get a shot of their own created. Parker Wise at the scorer's table. Mundorf, pump fakes. They're going to say he got the ball. The two, no good. Jadavion. He gets the two. That's an air ball. He doesn't get it. Caden Miller pushing the pace. Bearcats have numbers. Mundorf for three. It's no good. That goes over. That hit the shot clock, so that'll be out of bounds. Parker Wise will come in. He's going to give Carter a break. Carter has 4 points tonight and 0 fouls, so Carter will be of use come late game if they need to foul. Johnson goes out. Lee will stay in. Lee will stay in, yep. A little confused there. Davion, throw it in. Dawson was a little less guarded in the first half, and that kind of shows where he got the majority of his 17 points. And now that you kind of see, put a new defender on Dawson, and you kind of see that he's been really slowed down so far tonight. Mundorf on Brody. Brody. Just wasting clock up top. Davis. Eagles, no, they don't need to be in a rush. He throws that one away. Call a foul. I believe that'll go on Dahlgren. He'll be shooting 2. Dahlgren's third. Kind of got to that point after they kind of took off 20 seconds. They've realized they don't need to push the pace. Head to the scores clock, the table. Mr. Madsen, our book official, they wanted to double check. He was make sure he was at 10 fouls. He'll head to shoot 2. He's been at 10 fouls for a little bit, so 1:52 left to go. First shot is up. It's off the left iron and out. 57-64. Mentioned this at the beginning. Omaha Central 4-0. Looking to go 5-0. Kearney not going away, but they are ranked 5th in Class A. He gets the second one to fall. From the beginning, winter sports press conference we had here for all the regional areas, Kearney High players said they want to win games they're not supposed to win. This is one of those games. Dahlgren kisses it off the glass. That goes for 2. Tough shot, makes it look easy. 59-65. Brody trapped on the baseline. Guarded by Mundorf. Mundorf playing tight D. Brody. They're going to get Mundorf on a foul. It'll be his 3rd foul. Get him on a push. He was a little close. 59-65. Brody will head to the line to shoot 2. DeAndre Brody. He is the senior. First one. That's good. 59-66. Bauman comes in for Jadon Bouron. Second one. It's no good off the back iron. Rebounded by Parker Wise. Dahlgren with it now. Parker. back to Dahlgren. Over to Miller, back to Mundorf. Mundorf pump fake, dribble, sets his feet. It's no good. Caden Miller, he gets the rebound. Quentin Butts took a hard fall. He's slow to get, he will get up though. That is Butts' 4th foul. That is now the 2nd player in foul trouble, although they are under a minute, so there's not a whole lot left. Bearcats need 7 points now. They need both of these to drop. Miller. First shot, no good. Ben Johnson, he's going to come in and give Parker a break. Caden, usually a pretty solid free throw shooter. Off on his rhythm there. 2 players in for the Eagles with foul trouble. Both down low right now. Number 0 and number 10. Butts gets the rebound. Butts has 4 fouls. Davis with it. Bearcats need to force something to happen. Carter Lee swats it down, but he will head to the line for 2 as he got a bit of his arm on the way. That is Carter's first foul. As I did mention earlier, now that we're getting to the point where Kearney needs to force those fouls, Carter will be very useful. The first one by Butts. It's no good. 3 players on the court now have 4 fouls. Lee will head to the bench as Wise comes in. Butts and Dawson from the Eagles and Parker Wise from the Bearcats each have 4 fouls. Caden Miller with it. He has 3. Over to Johnson. Back to Dahlgren. Dahlgren drives. He gets that one off the glass. Wait, timeout, Bronick. We're going to take that one with him, too. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
It's quite like our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. There's no place.
To the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. As we take a quick look ahead in the schedule, the next game for both the girls and the boys Kearney High teams will be at Norfolk on this Friday. Norfolk, not a great team this year. Kearney wanted to travel. They're going to get Caden Miller with a foul. 34.8 seconds left. A lot of chatting between the girls basketball team and the Rowdies. The first one from Butts. It's good. So we await the second shot. 61-68, 34.8 seconds left. Butts' second shot. It's good. He makes both of them this time. Kearney, back to Dahlgren. Dahlgren off footing. Caden Miller fouls on the rebound. Davis will head to the line to shoot 2. 61-69, 25.8 seconds left. Wise will come back into the game here in a bit. That's Caden Miller's 5th foul. So Caden Miller's done for the night. Parker comes back in for him. Great showing out by Caden Miller. If there wasn't a tuba in the way, I could tell you how many points he scored. I'll have to give it a sec so it moves up. He had 6 tonight. He was great on defense. The first one from Davis finds the bottom of the well. Parker has 10 points. He's got 4 fouls. He's back on the court. Second one, no good. Rebound by Parker. Lee with it. Lee, deep three. It's no good. Parker, Ben Johnson, all fighting for the rebound. That's a jump ball. That'll head towards the Eagles' direction. The Eagles will have their 5th victory of the season. I mean, I'd love for the Kearney Bearcats to come back and win, but it is not looking good. Eagles will get their 5th. Davis thought about a 3. Wondorf's going to hit him on the arm for it. We'll have the line to shoot 2. PJ Davis to shoot 2. One more, because the first one is good. 61-71. Kearney High will start on a. Kearney High will go on a four-game road trip, and the next home game will be the 7th, January 7th. That's the next home game. On that road trip, they've got Norfolk, Columbus, Garden City, Kansas, and North Platte. So they'll make a little bit of trip to get down to Garden City. Garden City, I do know, doesn't start till January. That'll do it from here in Kearney. Eagles 72, Bearcats 61. We'll be right back. We'll have a post-game recap back here in a bit. You're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank.
Our middle of everywhere. We're the bank that'll help you celebrate everything it brings. Because we're more than a bank in Nebraska. We're Nebraska in a bank. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. There's no...
Watching the Bearcat Sports Network, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Leading scorer for the Bearcats, number 1. Blinking on it. Why am I blinking? Number 1, Jack Dahlgren. He had 21, so big night for him. Carter Lee had 4. Ben had 12. Parker had 10. And I believe, wait to see some of these cycle through. That is Mundorf with 8, Miller with 6, and Carter with 5. Looking at Omaha Central. Let's see here. Number 22, Diane Bouillon. He had 11. Their leading scorer, Patrick Davis, PJ Davis, he had 20. A lot of those coming in at night. Rough night. Bearcats had it close. Not able to finish out, though. They had it, I think, like a 2-point game out at the end. They had the lead in the third quarter, so it was definitely a lot. They brought it in close. Both Kearney teams today fought against 2 very good teams. Omaha Central's ranked 2nd in girls, and Kearney was fighting right along with them up until the 4th quarter when they fell apart a little bit. And boys fought all the way until like halfway through the 4th quarter with the number 5 team in the state. So really, it was a good, it's not what they wanted, but it was a solid day. You can't be too upset with how this went. But with that being said, we appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Final score, 61-72, excuse me, in favor of the Omaha Central Eagles. They advanced to 5-0. But we'll see you again on the 7th. It's a Friday. We'll see you again then If you're watching the Bearcat Sports Network, we thank you for tuning in. Good night.